Don't know that anybody signed the public comment paper back there to make public comments. Gonna check it, Chad, to see nobody's on there. Okay. I guess I could have made this a note. If you're kind of interested in the agenda tonight, there's 2 or 3 folders back there that has the agenda in it. You can follow along. I also have some other copies of some of the things we'll be discussing tonight. Next item is our action items, and that would be the consideration of approval of the regular council minutes from September 23rd, 2025.
Item number 5. Consideration for the land purchase and road. There's Crystal Lowe's motion to pursue the purchase of the property, Ricky second and Taylor third. There's no vote.
Okay.
The next one. Resolution to adopt the city of Charlotte developmental. Then it would go into an ordinance process. I didn't think we were doing ordinances on these. I thought we were only doing resolutions.
Yeah.
And so when I thought when we approve it, we make a resolution at the time we approve it. So I'm not sure how this needs to be reworded, but that definitely needs to be reworded. Oh, hang on.
Number 2 at the bottom. I think I just threw out a color. I don't remember who mentioned the possibility of painting
Painting what?
the fountain.
I just remember
No.
it was mentioned. Yeah.
We're gonna fix it, but our next number, we didn't make a motion.
Do we just make a motion to go ahead and approve with these corrections? If that's
Motion to approve with the said corrections.
immediate sentence. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No. Approval of the minutes on the change. Have the changes are. Next item we have is the consideration of approval of the special call meeting minutes from October 22nd, 2025. Any questions? Anything?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'm second.
That's a motion to approve the special call meetings. Ricky seconds it. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, moving on down to the agenda items. Under the old business. Be our property code violations.
Mr. Mayor and Council, today we record on 105 Hooper Road. Mr. Span was already found in contempt. The court heard proof as to the current condition. And Mr. Span was sentenced by the court to serve 10 days. We will have to report under the fourth and its duty is failure to comply with the court's order of keeping the property maintained. Additionally, we received instruction from the court. We're going to look at pursuing a civil civil warrant to go into the home to investigate the home due to safety concerns and reports of mice and rats and food outside the home and creating issues with other property owners. And so we're going to contempt for that purpose. And the court didn't want to take that up today because it wasn't part of the consideration. But again, Mr. Span will have to come back to court as to clean up the property. So that's kind of what that is. The next two, I think those continue to remain kind of on hold. Those are the property at 134 High School Street. That's when there were family issues. I think that was being looked at. The other one, I think, is part of the probate estate, William B. Etheridge at 3177 Highway, the Baylor Highway. I think that's still part of that estate as well. Okay.
Since that one is, do you know who I can get the property tax bill
Two,
to?
let's just follow up on that now.
Is that the Etheridge?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's Ashley Etheridge. I've got her number, we can get that.
Okay.
so on the 3381 Highway 48 North, that's the property. I think that's also all down on the agenda as far as the removal of the barbecue pit. It's my understanding that the equipment is there as of today, and that we'll be looking tomorrow and remove that. We've been sure that it happened towards the end of September. It didn't, obviously. Been in contact, coaching, been in contact with. I've been contacting the county, coach has been in contact with the person that's going to be doing work, and I'm sure it's going to start tomorrow. David Manning, we were in court on his property, 203 High School Street. That property being cleaned up. It was dismissed. He'll have to pay the court cost on the matter. And then I'll ask Mr. Pilkins to address the Gary Singleton property, the picnic Lincoln Street. I had there on anything in addition.
I went by there, it did look better, there's no plans to do any construction there. There's some topsoil piles that kind of restabilized. I didn't see anything too crazy, now the grass kind of died down being winter time, but if there's anything else y'all want to do, I could relay that. I think there was some rock on there one time, I think it had been removed. It did look a little better.
With
But
that,
put no plans to build on it. Right.
and with that, those are all property that I had, all properties that I had.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions or anything?
Do we ever get any money back from some of these people, like this first guy, the Hooper Street? Seems like he's on here every time since I've been on the council.
He's been on there forever. That's all it is, it's essentially condemning the property.
Okay, but I mean, if we keep going to court, we keep having to pay to go to court, and it just seems like it just keeps getting moved and moved and moved. Is there any way that we can recoup?
They made him,
He has paid money,
Okay.
he's paid.
he's cleaned it up 4 or 5 times.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, keeps returning back to the same condition, but it's not very severe.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Moving on to the second item under the old business. We talked, to reach out to a private CPA firm, to help us, some with our, accounting, bookkeeping in the office. As I said, there was only one that responded back, which was Morrison Rye. There was a quote that they gave, which is basically basic bookkeeping of $95 per hour. And that would, which basically they were saying that they would do anything that we asked them to do. It didn't matter how small or whatever we needed. That's their rate.
Who was it?
Morris and Rye. They're over on Church Street in Dixon. I mean, I just didn't know if we were still,
Did they submit anything, or did they just tell you that?
no, they submitted. Was that not in,
No, none of the bids or anything were in there.
I'm talking about, I thought I printed off copies and put them in your folders. Maybe I didn't.
I know,
Well, they might be still sitting in the table over there. Well, I know I made copies.
where you are.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think these are the type of services we need, just to be honest.
Okay.
The bookkeeping services will be performed based on the data and information provided. We will not verify or audit this information. You won't see this, I'm sorry. I know, this is very. Yeah, I don't really know what they're going to do. However, I mean, if we want to get a serious quote, I would recommend getting it just like we got it from. The last one we had, I can't remember their name, MG Group, where they specifically said what they were in charge of.
Yeah.
And a flat rate for the full year. They help with the audit, they're supposed to help with the audit. I mean. That's just.
You can reach out. I mean, I'll reach out if you want me to,
Yeah,
to
I
see
mean,
if they'll be a little more specific.
I mean,
That's just,
that's very vague. To me,
okay.
I think that. We should get a more serious bid,
Okay,
just so we know what they're gonna do.
okay. No problem. No problem. That's all the old business, perhaps. Under the new business, first thing that we've got on here is to change November's sewer and council meeting up a week to the 18th. November 18th. Our regular council meeting would be the Tuesday night before Thanksgiving. And with discussions of charter amendments and changes. Mr. Jekyll couldn't be here that Tuesday night, but he could be here the 18th. Good. Everybody good with the 18th?
Yeah.
Do you-
And
And
made
that
this
motion
motion.
to change it to 18.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye,
Aye.
noes? Okay. Make sure we get that advertised and posted. In plenty of time, which we can get council the votes, put it on Facebook and that sort of thing. All right, moving on, the next, item number 2 is to rescind the motion to, the awarding of Todd Street project to, Landscapes Done Right, because of improper licensing. So, need a motion to rescind that, awarding or award and
I make the motion to rescind the award of the Todd Street project to Dunbar.
Second.
okay, all those in favor, opposed?
No.
One no.
You know, I'm one. I was debating too. I'm gonna vote no.
Two noes. We should still pass. Which brings us to the next item, number 3. Because of the submitting of the bids and the awarding of the bid to Landscapes Done Right for improper license. We re-advertised and rebid the job out. We received 3 bids. From first bid, US Plumbing. Bid $55,850. TLW Construction bid $150,000 or $150,050. And Dream Building bid $77,836.
Mayor, may I ask just for, we were confident that everybody submitted pursuant to the terms of the bid, the proper documentation.
According to their descriptions,
Okay.
But there's only one in here with a. It's got his contract spots. This shows that his license.
There's only one that's really itemized too.
well, I think on the advertisement, it was, I don't have it with me, but I think it was, they didn't have to provide them with the bid, just that we request. But they've all 3 got licensed and insured.
I thought we said that last time too.
Well, they all 3 had license, one of them just didn't have the proper license.
What is the proper license?
Chad, you know what when
want to refer to Kirk on this one. As far as the general contractor license goes, or
Should be a general contractor license.
Would it have to be under their own name?
go ahead.
Whoever is submitting their,
Have to have a state license as any other construction. You know, there's endorsements. Your different type of contractor's license, if it's a BC, if it's a BCA. When you get into this will work for grading, there's endorsements because they talk about infrastructure for a road versus piping or, so there's endorsements on a BC contractor that go down that table, identify their property license for that application. Because it goes over the 25,000 threshold.
Yeah, US,
Several endorsements on a contractor differently.
I see, US Plumbing, they have their board for licensed contractors. And so does PLW.
My construction guys over there. I like seeing a lot of detail, and one of those has a whole lot more detail than the others. It's also a whole lot more than the others. So I would appreciate some guidance. Because when I look at the other ones, I just see more cleanup than anything.
There's licensing and insurance, here's his.
Budget, Ricky?
when I see the bids.
Budget. The budget was 180. And that's what Scran told us, what they thought, so. For them.
You think?
Everybody knows how I feel.
They have proper license and stuff. Without non-profit. Well, one of the, like I said, two of the bids look like more ditch cleanup. I'm sure that's part of the solution, but. I mean,
That's all
The
they're supposed to
stuff
do is
that-
put to clean the ditches up, put new covers in, that's all it was.
right, but. That's what I'm saying, so I don't know what I'm looking at.
Pretty simple job.
I see a lot of detail in one and then very little detail in the other.
It goes back to about having a civil drawing, we don't know exact, they don't have it exact.
Don't look at me for an answer, yeah, I'm gonna attach on to what Mr. Story said. folks, you got to. If you've got an engineer that comes in and recommends to you to get an engineer civil drawing, you all aren't engineers. You just aren't.
Well, he was an engineer.
Yes, sir, he recommended that you all use a civil drawing. But you don't get a civil drawing and go with it. And so I'm addressing what was raised. And so there's one that has submitted, or at least has stated that they have a general contractor's license. And they list, looks like these endorsements. They provided a copy of their contractor's license. They provided a copy of their certificate of liability insurance to show that they got it. The other two haven't. And there's an executive summary of what works to be done. Look, I'm not an engineer, I'm not, certainly not, but I'm just, your level of information here is, that is required is this, PLW construction, it's like they've submitted a complete bid.
There's 150,000.
Peter, Field,
I'm here.
you okay with me asking my question?
Yeah.
Sir, do you have an engineer that looked at this?
I did, and I mean, I do all my load calculations, takeoffs and everything to determine how much cubic yardage of soil is gonna have to come out. If you look at like the details on the plans, it shows to bring the ditch down a foot below and line it all with riprap. So if you're lining that entire ditch, when you do all the footages that you're doing all with riprap, that's 38 levels, you know, to the comment of just cleaning out ditches. It's not just cleaning out the ditches. In the specs, it says to line it all with riprap. And that was on the Strand Associates drawings. So I mean, that's with this bid, I mean, even just the riprap's 30 grand. So line that all with riprap. That doesn't count in the geotextile fabric to go in there, you know, along the whole entire ditch, lowering the water surfaces, clearing the trees to demo up that one ditch on one side, repair the driveway, repair the concrete. So I mean, it's all this that's calculated in it, and have an engineer look at it with me to determine the depths and calculations that we catch.
Are you an engineer or do you have like one
No,
on staff?
no, I've got my brother who's an engineer.
Okay.
So he works at Rye Engineering.
I'm gonna say the same thing I said last time. I don't think you were here, but if we don't pick one tonight, can we at least vote to get an engineer? I mean, if we just say, if we don't pick one tonight, we're gonna, get bids again next year or next month and then just do the same thing? I mean, that's, we've been talking about this for so long. So I don't. We either pick one or spend the money on the engineer. I don't, or it just stays the same way. I don't know what else to do.
I'm sure the citizens up there are ready for something to be done.
Agree.
I see Miss Beverly back there and I know she's ready to have it done. Yeah.
No. We may have different.
We do have different motions, I'm sure. Cause
I would like to, I'll make a motion to accept the PLW bill.
Would you say else?
I will make a motion to accept the PLW bill.
I guess we have to wait on Turtle's motion before I make one.
Doesn't mean it has to be seconded or voted on either. I just.
It's 30.
We're just doing it.
I mean, it's the only one that's
I'll say.
doing it per the plans that we had.
That we paid for.
And everything. The other ones are just cleaning the ditches that putting in new cover. That's the big difference. And they said it would cost about 180, so we're under 180.
What's it good?
180.
And we've got a motion to accept. There'll be in a second, Leah.
You said.
Yeah. So. Take a vote by Roe, Leah. Chris,
Yes.
Ricky. Yes. Linda.
No,
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so award the job as the PLW. You have any idea when you can get started?
Pretty quickly, I mean, I'd say in November we'll get started, you know, we've got to sign the contracts with the city. And then once all we get the contract signed, and then we'll move forward with mobilizing over there.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so. Are y'all just gonna play with it or you actually gonna fix it? You want it's gonna be
Fix it.
somebody can just go on and fix it. It's just that's it.
No, it's gonna be it's an extensive project. It's gonna take, you know, several, we've got a schedule allotted in the documents. Several week project, it's a lot of soil gonna be coming out, a lot of regrading. That road's gonna be busy for 3 weeks straight of hauling out. Hauling in, but doing it per the plans, per the specs.
So that means it's gonna get done.
I think he has a schedule on there too, obviously, even though it'll depend on weather.
So you're gonna be doing.
Yes, ma'am. I'll give you a card. I'll get one more.
Yeah, cause I get rid of it, I just want to.
I'll walk out there, try to give you my card.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank y'all.
All right, moving on, the next item, I put on here repainting the parking spaces on the square. We do have a bid for that. I hesitated to put this on there. For one reason is, and I don't know, I know we can't do it this year, but the square needs to be repaved, needs to be resurfaced. I don't know if y'all think.
Why don't the county go?
Well, I had went to the county today, but he wasn't there. I wanted to try to get an answer, but now I do know that. Well, I'm not gonna say that because I didn't hear it. But I was going to, you know, approach the county mayor. And ask him if he would split the cost 50-50. Or if he would help any. And so I just, with this being on there, I just would rather hold off with this repainting or restriping the square till.
Yeah, cause that could be it on the paving bill,
Yeah,
it all at once.
yeah. So I'm gonna move on to number 5, which is paving, the bid on paving Todd Street, and again, I apologize for not
Tracy Academy,
I'm sorry,
where's Tracy Academy?
right back here from 49 up to the sheriff's office. Received one bid from Tennessee Valley Paving. And the bid was to resurface, and he's got it in here, clean sweep roadway, meal joint, where street ties into 49 and Doyle Hill Road. He's got the bid at $36,945. And he also included, if we wanted to stripe the street, he had add another $3,200 to that, so.
We're gonna have, some of these streets, it's gonna have to be black.
Yeah, well, that's,
High School Street.
I mean, High School Street, we made feel to
yeah,
do that once the land was sold and you know, it all gets.
it,
When they resurvey it all, we get, you know, it's not from the center of the road no more, it's all,
So
so.
utility company just came.
High School Streets is,
Tore out a bunch of trees,
is just crazy.
yeah,
or tore out a bunch of trees there already.
We're paving around the trees.
No, well, I'm just saying,
Why around the trees?
yeah,
they removed some trees here recently. And it's a lot less trees to get rid of if we do, if we do what.
right. Yeah, I would agree with that until 100%. But,
Because if we're worried about infrastructure in the city, that's a big one.
yeah.
You know, planning for the future instead of spending.
Not over here. But, I mean,
Yes.
I think we've been saying this for a long
That's
time.
that's a highly used,
Yeah, somebody's gonna get hurt
yes.
on High School Street.
Or, you know, down here where all the cops are coming out all the time,
Yeah,
it needs to be.
What streets did we budget for?
Picnic, Todd, and Dotson. That's the ones we passed.
And that's the one that we put in the budget
Yeah,
for those three. 120.
but I don't think it added up to 150.
It was 125. Well, I'm saying, that's what, well, that's what I have in there, because I put it, what I thought. But it was just basic, that would be without that computer, he's got right there. These paper. Video. I'm pretty sure I put at least 30 minutes.
For
Tracy.
Tracy K.
You got one video hole in there, so yeah. But you see, I also got touch screen for paving from here down here. See, it says touch screen fixed and repaved. So I moved the paving part that he had and added one right up here. I think we estimated whatever top was and added a little bit. Or the paving, right? Paving, yeah. But it's included in that 240. Yeah. These 150. Or whatever the pay. It's just crazy. So you're saying we essentially got that minus 3, yes, that minus 150.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a street.
Yes.
Typical 44 minimum, if they give you 2 12-foot lanes. That's pretty minimal.
Wonder how wide that is.
That's wider than 24, right at 24, almost 25. High School Street.
No, in some places it's 15. I close my side when I go through my truck.
Question is.
I mean, it is.
It-
We argue with bills for. A month.
I'm 100% sure, but.
Oh,
No,
no.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid.
Okay,
I'll second that.
is that with or without the striping? Don't include the striping.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my motion is to
Okay,
include the striping.
okay.
I'll second.
Motion been made to accept Tennessee Valley's bid to repave Tracy Academy. Ricky is second. Any other discussion? All those in favor, aye. Opposed? Okay. Next item, is this text my gov. This company reached out, to me in a short description, is basically they take information. They, shoot anything that's going on or happening or warnings or anything and shoot it out to text all the people in the city of Charlotte.
They gotta have everybody's number first.
Yeah, and they'll get it. All they gotta do is buy it from the post office.
And we need to make sure they don't sell your info.
Right.
Make it easier. I'll make a motion that we don't
I'll second.
use the money for a website, $6,000
Yeah.
per year, use it for a website, and $1,000 after that, somebody can maintain it.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
I
Got a motion to
Which,
reject or not, not do this, and a second.
yes, it did.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. Thank you, guys. Next item, that's, I think, Councilman Smith and myself have been approached, maybe some of you others, about the speed limit on St. Paul Road. The, at least a couple of people are asking that we reduce the speed limit, which is now 30 miles an hour.
They ain't gonna follow it.
But nobody's gonna follow it if you post 30 or 30 or.
Is it
20 or-
JP?
Yeah, it's posted. There's,
They go 50.
yeah, I was gonna say now, they would, if you put 50 mile an hour, they'll go 50. And they may even try to go faster than that.
line for sure.
But that's another one. You're right. There's some issues I think the city needs to address in the future on that street as well as High School Street, like some guardrailing.
Yeah, we even talked about when JJ got killed, we
Yeah.
actually tried to get a guardrail put up across where he got killed.
Yeah,
What's the current feeling?
30.
Maybe they need some speed bumps.
So we,
How many signs? Cause
There's a
tried to
four.
put a lot.
there should be 4. Should be one pretty close to the entrance off of 49.
Okay.
Then there's one at Big Spring Road. Then there's another one at Promised Land Road, and then another one after you turn off 48. Now, what we do with the speed limit, I'll, whatever you decide, I'll be for it. As long as we don't raise it, which I don't think we do that. But now, one thing that I did think about, a speed bump, especially on this west end down here where there's more, where it's more populated, more houses. But I also thought about putting up a big neon green sign, telling caution, children at play. Maybe they would,
Got 2 of those ordered.
no, I don't know that people are paying any attention to that.
Can you get one of those little digital things that they put out?
Sheriff puts those out.
Yeah, but we can buy one for about $1,200. That's a solar.
I don't think that's gonna help.
But I don't think it's gonna slow people down.
We talked to the cops and get them set down there at the church and brought a few tickets.
Yeah.
And that would probably help.
That's the only thing that's gonna slow anybody down. So
Yeah.
they start catching.
I mean, that's, if you write them some tickets and just.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Cause right at the first of it is where that straight stretch is, they fly down.
And that's the most popular.
Yes, the most popular.
Yes,
If that come in from the.
yeah.
Yeah,
like those 30.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. President, rumble strips, is that something that's typically used?
Yeah, they've had some luck with the rumble strips. The speed bumps are not good.
yeah,
Typically, they put them up one week, if somebody voted to take them down the next month. So rumble strips help. The intersection at Big Springs is an issue. They come off that hill from Walker Wall.
yeah,
And when they're coming down Big Springs, there's an illusion there. We know it because we've lived there all our life. That road drops them off. And they can't see it, and they land in my yard.
yeah,
Hit 2 trees and tore up the driveway many times and hit a light pole. So rumble strips before Big Springs will be a good idea. I think coming on from St. Paul from 48 with some signage probably would help. And then I don't know about rumble strips at the stretch somewhere.
yeah.
I think if we get that and the cops sit down there for a few weeks and write some tickets, I think that would really help. But most of the time, they don't write tickets, they'll just.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going, I told myself I was gonna go to the county commission because that side of Big Springs is in the county.
Yeah,
But it needs to be rumble strips on Big Springs coming to St. Paul.
Yeah.
yeah,
The signage on this 48 side is definitely needed. For those kids, 'cause there's kids.
Yeah, there's kids playing in the road.
Yeah.
Down and around the road all the time.
Those rumble strips are good too. They put a lot of them over there on Rock Church.
yeah.
They help.
The same person that called concerned about that has already talked to his county commissioner.
Good.
About it because Randy Simpkins and I talked about this last week. About coming up with some kind of remedy.
I know things that are read the county. Let me know if you're gonna remember it.
Yeah, but JP be the first one that did.
Yeah. So, do we need a motion to pass for what we want to do?
Yes, sir.
And can the motion include rumble strips and signs? Or is it we need one for each?
I think you could break it into two. Be fine.
And we need to know what it costs, or are we doing it ourselves?
Yeah.
Doing it ourselves?
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know
know what that material costs.
what the signs, I'm not sure what they.
Mine's around $40, $50, somewhere around there, might be a little bit more. I know we want the children at play, or y'all mentioned children at play, do y'all want to put new larger 30-mile-an-hour signs there also?
Make a bigger.
I don't
I
know.
don't think that.
I mean,
30 mile an hour is not that fast on the road, but it's, they're doing
But they're-
over 30,
yeah.
that's the problem, I mean, they're not following the speed signs anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to lower the speed, I just think we need to get people to do the speed.
Agree.
And I think the only way we're gonna do that is put a cop down there, stop and pull them over.
Yeah.
Cause you used to sit at the church all the time, but I hadn't seen them down there in a long time.
right,
So. You ain't seen them, have you, JP? They used to sit there all the time.
Because, Bruno used to live right there in that helped. 'cause he
Yes,
has
yeah, he had his cop car there all the time.
I think he's either not doing that anymore, or maybe he's a detective. now.
He's a detective.
So, yeah, he don't know.
Oh, man. Might not gonna be over $1,000 plus, I can just buy it, dude. Signs are $40.
yeah,
What motion?
I just made a mention, let's do some safety work on St. Paul Road,
Rumble strips.
The signs.
almost strips and signs.
will that work? That motion
I
work?
think, yes, and allow the mayor to, force with codes to place it in the appropriate places.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor, I guess any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Are you gonna call the sheriff?
Yeah, well, I'll probably go look there. A couple other things, issues I've got that need to be that we need to talk over again. And one of them being Humphrey Street at 2:15 in the afternoon. For the cars parked up here blocking the road, waiting to go get their kids. That's gotta stop.
Oh, they clogged up 49, 40,
Yeah, 48.
48
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
of it.
but this up here has got to stop. Just anyway. Well, that's an issue that we're going to discuss. All right, moving along. Number 8, discuss revised charter to vote on September or November 18th. I think there's some things that are still being worked out, but hopefully, that meeting, we can have a work session before that meeting, to go through those. We would like to try to vote and approve our plans on the revision to the charter so that we can get that submitted to our state, or not state, but our
State representative,
representative.
I had communication with Representative Jody Barrett, he is going to contact Senator Roberts and coordinate that portion of it. I told him we would try to get him a draft. So what the intent is, Mr. Jekyll was supposed to be sending me the revisions that we made from, based on conversations. No voting occurred, but revisions that were made from our October the 22nd meeting. And he's gonna send those to me, I'll review those, if you and I will communicate. And once he and I both believe that those are what you all, we all had talked about. And we'll disseminate those to you all, or just review, feedback, not individually, but feedback to me or Mr. Jekyll. I'm gonna go ahead and send probably that draft to Mr. Representative Barrett, just for the sole purpose to allow him to send it to Mr. Roberts and send it to staff for the legislature, state attorney staff, so they can go ahead and start reviewing it, formatting it in the proper format for their purposes for consideration. So The intent is, as the mayor said, is for us to have a work session, you would sure that it is in the form that you all are wanting it, and then for the 18th, regular meeting, take that by resolution for your all's consideration. But
Will we be submitting our updated ordinances and codes as well? Does that happen through there, or does that just go to MCAS?
that is for your all's discussion, and eventually, sure, you're wanting MTS to be involved in that process, sure. That's another,
Separate.
correct, yes, sir.
But we need a motion to change the meeting to number.
We've already made that we did that right up. I should have put these two together.
Okay. So do you have any idea when we're gonna get those revisions back so we can review and make changes? Cause
Over the next 10 days, that's,
would it be wise to have, I mean, I hate having 2 separate days, would it be wise to have our work session before our meeting? And when I say before our meeting, not an hour before our meeting? If the goal is to vote on it November 18th.
well, that's your all's decision,
We
but
could.
there is, sure, that's your all's decision.
Yeah.
We pretty much agreed on everything. I mean, went over everything we want to change.
Yeah.
Like the last-
He wasn't here for that.
I think it's
I'm happy to meet with you to go over any, once you get it, to go over any those changes. Save that energy and time, I have to meet with you. To kind of go over those and explain how the conversation evolved to where it is now.
Sure, and I've read the revisions, and the only thing I'll say is it's more language cleanup than anything to me. It doesn't look like we're truly changing anything besides getting rid of stuff that's outdated. So it's my only concern. So yeah, if y'all are comfortable with doing the work session the day of, that's fine too. I'd rather do it in one day than two, but again, my biggest concern about the charter changes is I don't know if we've changed anything besides taking out language from 1950. I'll leave it at that.
I don't have an issue. If you want to meet on a completely different evening to go over some of that, or
But if you meet at 4:30 instead of 5:30 on the 18th.
make that.
No,
Uh,
Chris, you couldn't be here at 4:30, could you? On the 18th.
I believe so.
Oh, thank you.
Let me double check. Sure.
Yeah, so they probably.
I can just work it out.
At 4:30. And Stevie.
I've been retired for 8 weeks now.
Stevie, he'll be late, but he'll
People have to go back to work.
Got it opening next door.
Yeah, but I can't write good. Hey, time,
There's no pay.
no say.
Yeah. You get right.
Yeah, I'm used to that.
You can answer your phone.
You might not want me on the phone.
Maybe on the 18th.
Everybody good with it?
I am.
I'll let Mr. Jake will know and I'll verify when I get those revisions.
And see if he's available at 4:30. If not, then we'll have to take notes and review it when he
Yes,
comes early.
I anticipate we will be.
Okay. Next item, I mean, it doesn't, but somebody has something else. Next item, number 9 is the need for a resolution to close the fire department account. I think that's a lot, most of that is due to the fact that because we're changing over to local government.
It is.
And, we got in touch with, the bank and they said that we would need to pass a resolution before we could close that account. And basically, there's no reason to have a fire department account when it's all gonna be written out of the general fund.
Motion to close the fire department. I'll say.
Any other discussion?
It used to be in the general account when we were on
It,
council, and then they broke it out.
Then they would just put it in the other account to write the check,
Yeah.
we would give them the money out of the general fund. And they put it in.
that's what we do now on the local government, you have general and you have sewer.
That's it.
It's all one.
We should have.
Matter of fact, I think Dixon County only has one for their entire.
Oh, I agree.
area.
Yeah.
The auditors.
One less to keep up with.
The auditor makes right there. Yeah, expenses out separately anyway, so, yeah, their expenses are separate, but it's just because we check out that same. cash
Can you give that back to you? The resolution?
Signed resolution,
No.
or do you want me to scan it,
Yes.
scan it and send it
Number next to
with the number?
Okay, I don't think we voted. So all those in favor of the resolution to close fire department bank account, aye? Opposed? All right. We'll get that done. Next item, is, the approval of forms for construction. Planning Commission of application, development pre-construction checklist and agent authorization form. I think this, pretty much is so that any new construction or whatever, everybody's on the same page. That right, Jason? Come fill this out and provide the necessary information. And this is the only part we are approving is to use these forms when someone comes in and applies for it.
Mr. Mayor, I did also a resolution for that purpose as well, if you don't decide, well, I'll leave it on there.
Right. Yeah, there is a resolution.
And I apologize, Mr. Blair, this is something the planning commission has been working on and has worked on for several meetings. And it comes as a recommendation from the planning commission, and certainly, Patrick, anything else you want to add?
I had a conversation, we had a little concern about, check boxes and who gets check boxes and make sure that's consistency. Other than that, I'm okay with it.
Just to add that, it's, Ricky talked, there's gonna be some projects that a lot of this won't apply to them all, because they're gonna be simple. But it's a great starting point to ask all the right questions, whether it's Sherry, I'm sorry, Miss Sherry, as they come in, she can hand them some information, so when they come back to do a submittal, the planning commission or say, hey, can I drop this off to be reviewed for a building permit? Everything is there. We'd like to say there's gonna be some NAs on some things that don't apply, and then we get a big project in here, there's gonna be a lot more in-depth conversation at planning commission. I think it's understood at planning commission when they come bring this stuff in, because some of them go to planning commission anyway. It gives them more information to ask right questions, so there's a lot of clarification in the very beginning. And planning commission understood that some of this stuff before they signed these forms, it's signed off on some of the, you look at some of those signature pages, once they sign off, that's when they can actually have a pre-construction meeting to get a permit. So some extra steps, it's gonna be a little different, be a little learning curve for everybody locally. But I think what they're trying to accomplish is planning commission, I think it's a good step.
We don't want, so we don't want to make this. Same question I had last month, but. Non-ordinance, so it's not gonna become part of our code.
It's just a policy, that what you all want to instruct staff Planning commission was just to use, it may change, the document may need to change, and it's what I said. Everything is not gonna be applicable to each, project that comes in, so that they need to know these forms are applicable to certain projects, or they mean that we need more information, it's a good starting point.
Talked to my brother about this, cause he does all of this stuff for us, and, he's saying, I mean, he agreed with all this, he said it was in the code book, it's supposed to have all this. Everybody don't enforce it, but it's for like the bigger builders, like big projects. It don't apply to like, if you're building a regular house and you don't have all the traffic stuff and all the other stuff, it doesn't, I mean, it's not gonna affect like you build
Resident.
I mean, it is residential, but it's gonna be like big, it more applies to big subdivisions and like people doing big projects, like on 48 going to Dixon on the way. That's a big project. It's not gonna affect the look. It's. I felt a whole lot better once I talked to him and he explained more to me about it. Cause I let him do that. He was a coach man like Jason for a long time and he knows more of this stuff than I do. So I feel good about it. It's tough, it's never perfect. I say, I think first position is that you're trying to ask, you can use this for a few months. And staff and the mayor and council and myself, we may look at it and say, what, this part kind of doesn't ever apply, let's just take it out. You can amend that in one meeting and amend these forms, so it's probably gonna need a little massaging over the years, but they're again, a prime example, is I met Jim Robertson this morning at Lions Club for 15 minutes. They furred out some areas insulate to the Lions Club, and they furred out the bathroom with some strips to add some grab bars. They didn't change the floor plan, they didn't add any walls, they didn't tear out any walls. They said, do we need a permit? I said, well, you know what, probably not. You're referring some walls out, add some insulation, it's so minor. That again, as your consultant, that's a decision that I would make, and the intent of Charlotte, keep it where it needs to be simple, keep it simple. But yeah, so these forms will help in a lot of applications, and some things like the Lions Club this morning, 15 minutes, I said, you don't need anything, just rock up, So we're always gonna keep that same intent here, it's simple, easy, let's keep it easy. But you get Dollar Tree back in here, or a Dollar General, heaven forbid, then a lot of this stuff is gonna be applicable.
And you're gonna want it in place, and you don't have it in place. And you're gonna want it in place, and you don't have it in place.
I make a motion to approve it. I'll second it.
Motion's been made to approve forms, seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, number 11, I think it's already been addressed. Anyway, we'll move on to committee reports. Before you have any,
Which Mayor, nothing else to add.
okay. Finance, I guess. Okay.
Enjoy your financial statement, because there might not be another one until next year. We're in the conversion process with local government, and it's gonna probably take me to the end of the year to get all the stuff loaded from Sage into local government, because they're using local government now going forward, but I still gotta go from July 1st to now, or to put all the stuff from Sage over for local government, so you won't have one for the next meeting. We don't normally meet in December, so hopefully by the January meeting, I'll have stuff to back up. Yes, I did, yeah, Mitzi did, we had conversations today, she sent something Friday. We called her this afternoon, went through her list of things that she's requested. And I thought I would have it to her next day. I work on that today with replace. There's a couple things that from there and the attorney that we put together.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till I hear from the comptroller before I set up something with Mr. Vanderwood.
That's 2 out of the 12 or 15 things. I'll give it.
Oh. I'm gonna insert this in, because they're here tonight, Cafe Gillies, we have a year lease with them. They're asking if we would, extend, our lease to a 5-year lease.
I think we voted on the first one, did we?
Yeah.
Was it-
Yeah, I saw the resolution when I was.
Oh, was it before us?
No.
It does. We didn't vote. Y'all had to, I didn't. We didn't in mine.
Right before,
Yeah.
it was before you came.
Yeah, I was sort of saying it wasn't in my nineteen.
Is it just 1 year right now?
It's just 1 year right now, and of course, that, year ends December 31st, 2025. They're just asking if we would extend it to a 5-year.
Resolution. You need there.
We got a motion made for that, or?
Well,
Great.
certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
I would need to look at the lease. This is for you all on the side. I haven't reviewed the lease
Okay,
recently, commit yourself to a 5-year term as, I don't know what the current rate is. And so that's up to you all, and you want to pursue it as, but you're asking me on the spot, I haven't.
I was gonna say, you wrote it.
Well, I'm
Probably make a
sure.
motion for him to go into negotiations. To extend their lease.
Sure.
And do that. Motion to let the mayor go into negotiations to extend the Cafe Gilly lease.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Vote. All right. Moving along, wastewater. Don't know if we have anything else to add.
Looks like we're still positive so far.
So,
And we don't have any of the rate increases in any of those financials yet, so.
that's good. No, I don't know. Would it be? I don't guess it would make any difference if we leave the wastewater committee report, since we have the sewer meeting before the council meeting, so
I think, yeah, we approved it.
either or.
I think we approved it in advance.
Okay.
I don't think it's necessary. I think it's the board. It really is the wastewater board approving their own minutes.
Right.
It's really reporting. You all. But now that you all are. No one's attending the
Yeah.
wastewater board.
Yeah.
It's sufficient.
Okay. If no one has anything, any streets, bridges. That's another reason I don't know. I don't know how the website would work or not, but other than calling in the office, if somebody comes, hits a pothole that needs to be repaired, if they could contact us through the website or this some way. Street lights and signs. I will tell you that or Chad, I shouldn't say we, Chad has reached out and we're going to bid out and try to have our lights fixed around the square, the antique decorative lights. Too many of them aren't working, and all of these around here, no parts can be found for them. So anyway, we're going to look into repair.
I've got one bid already turned in. I hadn't even looked at it. He just brought it over to the office today. And I've contacted another guy about that. I was gonna ask, is that something else that needs to be advertised? Does it need to be posted in the paper and Facebook also?
I think that was one of the things I was gonna ask Chris if he would put on Facebook. Just,
It's a repair. Are you talking about just replacing the bulbs?
well, we may, no, it won't be replacing.
Replacing the whole pole?
We may know, just replacing the light fixture part at the top. Cause it's, I mean, it's,
5,000 a ballast.
I don't know.
Putting LEDs in.
That sounds like maybe some. But you think we need to bid it, we'll bid it.
How much? do you anticipate?
I don't know. Maybe you should,
I have no clue.
maybe we
I'd
should.
say they're pretty high.
Yeah, I think it'd be more than 1,000 if you got that many poles.
Well, I mean, we got 17 lights just around the square.
Okay.
And that doesn't include, how many lights are over at the little park?
I think I figured it up at 20 to 1, including the park.
Okay. So,
Be worth it either.
I think there'll be $100 a piece, maybe. Maybe no more than that, depends on, because they're outside and it's ain't something you run the loads and get.
Who's gonna bid that, I guess?
I mean, electricians would have to bid the loads, electricians, because I mean, there's some rewiring on the ones that don't work.
I think we need to send it as a bid, just because I think it's gonna be a.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty high.
Charter. We don't have a
I
choice.
don't think it's a good pole, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's really.
I think it needs to be.
It's, they probably.
I mean, if it was just one or two lights,
Yeah,
that would be different.
and you know, you might get.
So we need this. Yes, go ahead, do it. No, so
But they're all over 208.
I make a motion that the mayor goes and sends us out to bid to change all the lights in the square in the park. Second.
Okay, second it. Any other discussions? All those in favor? That's what we would do.
Did we make a motion for you to talk about the website? Oh, we did that last.
We did that last meeting,
Okay, so you.
so that's when I reached out to Todd. And I need to talk to him again. Talk to Todd a little bit more about the website, or I can even reach out to Mr. Lord. All right, next one is public safety. No one from the fire department is here. Nope. Yeah, I don't know of anything.
That are. Either them or the ambulance is blowing and going, but
Yeah,
every day.
yeah,
I mean, they're all day, every day.
yeah. Parks and recreation. Beautification. Anything else planning and zoning?
We're gonna, now we got something, we're gonna put an agenda this time.
Yeah, we would, you'll have one this time. That's,
Backup paperwork, all that stuff, just before some was emailed, some was mailed. So I just wanna make sure we have a process to make sure we're covered.
I mean, I know you're still discussing the development and
Fees.
fees and all
And that's
that.
how I'm fixing to go. I wanna make sure the process for this next week's meeting is there.
Yeah,
We got an agenda, any documentation that needs to be for that.
yeah,
The second thing is, everybody got a copy of the fees that I gave you to the last meeting. I sent it to you today. Look over it and give me feedback if there's something that is not. We haven't approved it at the planning meeting. We'll discuss it next Thursday, so if you got any concerns, questions or whatever, reach out. I'll explain to you what the goal is.
Does it show our current? It shows our current and then
Show our current, because a lot of those we don't even have fees for. But they do have the fees, I think it's the same fees for the residential. 75 per square foot.
Yeah, the building code fees that it covers. Kurt, did you get that word format of all codes? I mean.
Yeah.
So it's just looking at proposed versus area, well, it's proposed versus Dixon, Kingston Springs and Coopertown, I think it was the three that we had. Now on the other stuff. I think
That was
planning,
application.
planning stuff, it actually included burns as well.
Yeah.
For some reason, it includes burns on the fees for the building fees, so anyway. But we can discuss that more Thursdays.
you have something to add to
Just
this?
a couple of things, gotta get some paperwork to share, just catching up on some stuff I'm gonna meet with her, closing out. There was one permit on William Lane, it had some COs, they closed two out. Bill, Boss Harmon did, and then I done a final on a small addition on Founder Highway. But I had all the typical HVAC, they did pull a permit, met with them, kind of similar situation, you kind of quarterback that, the transition, so. They did like $10,000 remodel, the Hess Energy Construction, license, full permit, I think it's $157. I mean, it wasn't a big deal, they were really nice about it. As you see, they cleaned up the property, painted it, looks great, took the little shed out of the back, I think 2 days ago. It's gone, they gravelled the parking lot for some parking, so we'll turn all that in for file, but kind of overall.
I did talk to Dana yesterday and told him our project on Todd Street, that it would probably require a culvert being put between his fence gate and the road. So he's aware that that's gonna take place.
He's leasing that property, he tried to buy it, but he is under a lease.
Yeah.
3 to 5 years, I think, so.
Be a good one to reach out to for the HVAC issue as well.
Yeah. All right, anything else planning and zoning? Nope. Nothing on construction yet? I guess there's gonna be some construction get started here pretty soon on Todd Street, so. Ambulance service. I haven't had any complaints, or I've asked Bob a couple of times, and if there's anything that needs to be looked at, repaired, or and yeah.
They still moving, they still have a future plan to move.
Yeah. All right, just a reminder, planning and zoning meeting November 6th. At 6 p.m. And then a work session. Yeah. Work session will be at 4:30. Wastewater and council meeting will take place beginning at 5:30 and 6 o'clock.
I have a question, 4:30. Were we gonna vote on the next meeting to pass that?
Not at the work session,
But
but
if it has changes, if you wanted to make any changes to anything, would we need more time to vote? Like, do we need to meet, does he need to meet with him before and then if everything's good vote? Or does that make sense?
yeah.
I don't know if you'll have enough time to make
No.
changes.
So again, what I'm hoping in the next 10 days, 7 to 10 days, we can. Well, review and go over it, and then I'll send it out to you all, and then.
And I send my complaints to you, is that what you're saying?
We'll try to address it, have discussion about it, and then at the work session, more about it, he has proposed changes then. Sure, we can kind of address it or try to get those proposed changes, we send them out to you all, we'll have you'll at least know what those are. And then you can take a look at 4:30 on the 18th.
I just want to be sure it's ready to vote.
Sure.
If it's possible.
Yeah.
And if still anything else needs to be done, if we have to, we'll call a special meeting. In the 1st of December.
But that's what a work session is for, obviously, for you all. If you have changes, we can put it in and say, I know you all want them to be black and white as is when you vote on it. It may be that there is some tweaks. I mean, it's not unusual. It's a living, breathing kind of box.
Then start session in January.
January.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
No, but he'll have seconds. All those in favor?
Hi.
No Dodgers.
Yeah.
Maybe not 18 days.
Yeah, not 18.